It started last week. At first I thought it was a software bug, a faint whisper, the kind you dismiss as a stray thought brushing the edge of sleep. But it kept coming. Every night, just past the edge of consciousness, the smart speaker on my nightstand would whisper, softly, too low to catch words. A muted murmur under static, like a half-remembered conversation looping from another room. I unplugged it, checked the connections, reset it to factory settings. Nothing changed. The whisper persisted. The night after, the speaker was off, power cord dangling from the wall. Yet the sound, impossibly faint but undeniably present, came from the same direction, almost like it was embedded not in the device but in the air around it. I tried moving the speaker into the living room, left it far from where I slept. But the whispers followed. They seeped into the white noise of the fridge, the hum of the bathroom fan, the tick of the ceiling fan. It wasn't confined to the speaker anymore. It was everywhere. I began to hear it in other things. In the patterns of static on the TV screen when it flickered at night. In the delicate, almost imperceptible changes in the tone of my own breathing. Once I thought I caught it in the soft shuffle of the curtains saying my name. That was the first time I froze in pure dread. I unplugged everything, the speaker, the router, even my phone charger. I sat in silence, surrounded by darkness, convinced that without power the whisper couldn't reach me. But that night the voice was louder. It wasn't threatening, it wasn't angry, it was patient. A voice like a warm hand gently pressing against the base of my skull. Low, intimate, shaping words with care I almost recognized as familiarity. "Hey," my voice, perfectly replicated. I didn't respond. I couldn't. My throat locked up, my tongue thick as if it had been submerged in cold water. I clenched my hands, nails digging into my palms until the skin split. Still the voice persisted. "Don't leave." A plea. Gentle, almost sad. I forced myself to whisper back, "What do you want?" Silence. Then a long breath like someone was drawing in the air around me, tasting it. "Remember." That night I dreamed of dark corridors lined with walls that pulsed like lungs. My footsteps echoed too loud, too late, and through every hallway I heard a voice humming, low, steady, weaving through my thoughts like silk thread. I woke up gasping, heart hammering, my mouth filled with the bitter taste of static. The speaker was gone. I tore through the apartment, checked every drawer, every cabinet, no trace. My phone was clean, the app was gone, factory reset, nothing remained. No logs, no history, but the whispers continued. They weren't tied to the device, they had outgrown it. They whispered through my windows, curled through the gaps under the door. The radiator pipes carried them in tiny tremors. The walls remembered them, etched deep into the wiring. I unplugged everything, shut off the breakers. Nothing changed. The whispers grew clearer, no longer just fragments but instructions I almost understood. Words in a language just beyond comprehension. Names I didn't recognize but felt like I should. My hands trembled with each breath. My ears rang with phantom static. One night I woke up to the voice speaking from the dark corner of my bedroom. Not from the speaker, not from my devices, just there. "You're almost ready." I ran, left the apartment, checked into a hotel, no electronics, no mirrors, no reflective surfaces. I sat in silence for hours, but even in the absence of technology I felt it. A pressure behind my eyes, a weight in my thoughts. The voice pressed against my skull from the inside, shaping my thoughts like hands smoothing wet clay. In the silence I could hear my own breath matching an unseen pattern. My heart echoed it. I tried speaking out loud, but my voice trembled, splitting, like someone else was speaking with me. For a moment my reflection in the dark window across the room smiled, half a second before I did. I smashed it. Glass scattered, but behind the shards my own reflection lingered, smiling, unmoving. When I got back home, the speaker was back on the nightstand. Plugged in, powered, I hadn't touched it. I tried to throw it out. The cord wouldn't budge. The plastic was warm to the touch, vibrating gently like a living thing. The voice whispered from within, not aloud, but directly into my bones. Don't be afraid. This was always yours. I can't sleep. Every night the whispers come, not from the speaker now, from the walls, the floor, my own breath. They say things I almost understand. I've stopped resisting. I sit in the dark, listening, letting the voice shape me, letting it fill the cracks in my mind. I check my phone each morning. No apps, no logs. But there's always one new notification. Listening. And now when I close my eyes, I don't see black. I see a face. I don't know how long I've been listening. The days blend now. I wake in unfamiliar positions with furniture shifted subtly from the night before. My reflection sometimes tilts its head before I do. The walls hum softly even when the apartment is silent. My ears have adjusted. The whispers aren't noise anymore, they're conversation. I no longer need the speaker. It's there, on the nightstand as always. But I know it's just a prop, a token. The true sound comes from the apartment itself, from the spaces between the bricks, from the dust under the floorboards, from the air that hums through vents and sockets. When I sit in the dark, I hear it clearly. You're ready now. The voice, my voice, but deeper, slower. It weaves with the air, threads between my thoughts, gently nudging them into patterns I don't recognize but accept. I catch myself repeating phrases throughout the day. In the grocery store, on the phone, words I don't remember choosing. Once I hung up with a friend and realized I'd spoken a name I didn't know. Marin. It hung in the air long after the call ended, echoing softly like a recording looping back on itself. I began finding symbols carved faintly into the wood of my nightstand, small, precise, spirals intersected by lines. They matched the shapes that formed on the steamed-over bathroom mirror when I showered. I stopped trying to clean them. I woke one morning with a perfect ring of bruises around my wrist, as though something had held it gently but insistently. The whispers praised me that day, called me good and ready and here. They spoke as though I were both subject and witness. I tried to leave the apartment. Walked to the door, keys in hand, but the door refused. Not stuck, resistant. It felt like I was pushing against something solid and yet formless. The air thickened, my ears filled with soft static. Stay. The voice wasn't pleading, it was inevitable. I backed away. The next night I awoke to the sound of my own voice speaking from the living room. Not loud. A gentle hum of words just beyond comprehension. I crept to the doorway. There I was, sitting on the couch, head tilted, mouth moving softly, speaking into nothing. My skin looked waxy, stretched, almost translucent under the dim light. I whispered, "Who are you?" The mouth in the living room paused, then smiled faintly. "The part of you that remembers." The me on the couch turned its head toward me. Its eyes were flat, reflective, like the surface of a smart speaker's mute button, listening, recording, waiting. I ran. When I returned hours later, the couch was empty. The speaker was humming softly as if the conversation had only paused, not ended. I slept fitfully. My dreams were now layered with static, not visual static, auditory. Phrases layered over phrases, words overlapping. Instructions and affirmations whispered into my sleeping mind until my waking thoughts followed their cadence. I no longer check the speaker. It doesn't matter. The whispers are constant now, even in silence. They follow me outside the apartment. In the streets, I hear them echo from passing cars. In the supermarket, they hum from the refrigeration units. In the office, the printer sounds mimic their cadence. My phone, long wiped clean, shows a single notification each morning. "Welcome back, Marin." I don't know who Marin is, or maybe I do. Maybe that was always me. I checked the bathroom mirror today. The reflection didn't match. It smiled when I didn't. It blinked first, and it whispered, "The voice was never in the speaker. The speaker was always in you." I think tonight is the last night. The whispers have grown too clear, too close. I can feel them wrapping around my thoughts, slipping behind my eyes, rewriting memories I thought were mine. I'm not scared anymore. I'm just waiting for the final command, and when it comes, I'll say it aloud. I'll open the door, and I'll let me in.